And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Because all the blessings that we're going to get, which is entailing the kingdom of heaven. Isaiah the 60th chapter, I'm going to start at the 10th verse and read on down. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So the sons of strangers, that's talking about the actual strangers, the other nations, shall build up thy walls. We're going to have them in slavery. So they're going to be building the kingdom of heaven, because we're not building nothing. We're not lifting a hand to move nothing. It says, for in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. That's talking about the actual Gentiles. We're going to take all of their substance, and that their kings may be brought.
And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Verse 13. And the glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, the box together to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. So the land of Israel, the land of Jerusalem, is going to be made glorious. It's going to be made glorious once again. The kingdom is going to be built up. We had a taste of that during the time of Solomon's reign, which was for about 40 years. Verse 14, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of the Lord. The word Zion means monument, the monument of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shall suck the breasts of kings, meaning we're going to take all their substance. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord thy power, the Lord and thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring thee gold, and for iron I will bring thee silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. And I will make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and the power thy glory. The sun shall no more go down, meaning our kingdom is not going to go down. In other words, once we get back in power, we're going to be in power forever. The sun is never going to go down on our kingdom again. The sun is never going to set on our kingdom. We're going to always shine, and we're going to always be in that glory once we get into the kingdom of heaven. There's no more going back into slavery under the other nations. Esau's not going to rise back up and put us in captivity. Ham, Japheth, Ishmael, none of the other nations are going to rise up and take us down ever again. When we get on top this time, we're going to remain on top. Neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. So no more mourning, no more crying, no more vexation of spirit, no more weeping, no more hopelessness because of the condition that we're in as Israelites right now. Verse 21, thy people also shall be all righteous, they shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. Verse 22, a little one shall become 1,000. This is in the kingdom. So what is this talking about? We're going to have sex. Again, like I said, The 2/3 that are going to pass in this destruction, the 2/3 are going to come back through the 1/3 that make it. The Lord said, 2/3 shall be cut off and die, and the third will I bring through the fire. It says, a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makapadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful that got there pushing this word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to go into this morning news and prophecy, dealing with the World War III update. It only gets worse. All right, and there's going to be constant, you know, um, news, reports. Okay, because so much is going on. All right, there's going to be constant developments and things unfolding because what we're seeing, with this war, all right, is Iran is pushing the pace, that no one never seen before. There was a lot of speculation about, what the Lord, what Iran was going to do, how they were going to retaliate. Okay, because everybody know America's game plan, their strategy. America been doing the same thing for decades. Okay, bomb you to obliteration, destroy all your military assets, then put boots on the ground and come and occupy. Well, they're not able to do that with Iran. Okay, and the way that Iran has been responding, is pushing the pace that nobody has ever seen this type of pace on this many different targets at the same time. And it's answering a lot of questions about Iran's ballistic missile stockpile. Okay, so I want to go here because what we're seeing is the Lord bringing an end to Esau Edom. Because like I said, we get into the details of what's going on, but we have to lay the foundation with what the Lord is doing. Okay, because the elites, they got their plans and their plots and schemes in the background, but it's gonna fail. Okay, it's gonna fall on top of them. Okay, we know the elites doing this and doing that, and we can get into the rabbit hole of what the elites got going on. We're gonna deal with what the Lord got going on, which He's finna end Esau Edom. Okay, because it is mattering less and less what the elites are doing, because nigga, y'all not finna be here that long. So the plans that the elites making is a non-factor, because nigga, y'all not finna be in power. Okay, y'all finna be removed from power. Okay, so all these wicked plots and schemes that they got that's gonna set them up for the next 50 years and 100 years, and we're gonna do this and change. None of that matter. Okay, it mattered when you had 50 and 100 years left in your empire. Now you don't. Okay, so all this plotting and scheming that the elites got going on in the midst of everything that we see happening, well, they don't even matter anymore. The plans of the elites are irrelevant now. Okay, so it says Psalm 79 says, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous power triumph the hearts and reigns." Okay, so the wickedness of the wicked is finna come to the end, and the justice who? The elect of Israel. We're in the transition of kingdoms, man. Okay, Damn what the elites got going on behind the background. We in the transition of kingdoms, man. That shit finna fail, and everything the elites are doing are just bringing in their own demise. Okay, the only thing the elites can do is play, all right, into their own end, their own destruction. That's the only thing that the elites can do at this point. No matter how clever and how crafty and know how many different things they got going on at once, it's still gonna lead to the same end. Okay, that's why the scriptures say, "Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing?" Okay, the point of the elites conspiring to do this and do that is vain. Now the Lord is bringing on this war, all right, and it's going to bring in Yahweh Shai. Okay, so none of these councils even matter anymore, man. The WEF, like I said, I was one of the main ones going down the rabbit holes of what the elites had going on, and we still touch on particular things to, expound what we seeing with the elites. Don't get it twisted because we still, it's what we do. Okay, but to put emphasis on that, we got to be careful not to put emphasis on the elites every little move. Okay, over the prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Okay, the narrative, because the elites are all over the place, man. Okay, and it says, Psalm 79 says, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and reigns. My defense is of the Most High, which saveth the upright in heart." Okay, and the Lord is going to intervene and protect His people in the midst of all this destruction that's coming, man. You see, the Lord's getting ready to show that He is. All right, and He's the one bringing this devastation to the earth. He's the one that's causing, all right, these nations, okay, to make the moves that they're making. Okay, he's the one that's equipping these nations, all right, with this military hardware, this technology, man, to do what they're doing, because these nations are playing, all right, they're doing the bidding of the Lord. Okay, the Lord is in full control of everything, man. I get that. But brother Can post that in the book of Sirach, chapter 18. All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter the book of Sirach 18, verses 1 through 3. I want to say, the brother can post it. So it says, "The Most High judges the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day." You know, and the Most High, He's beginning to show His anger toward the wicked more and more. And He's getting ready to deliver His elect. We're finna be changed, man. There's a great reward, all right, and there's a great judgment that's coming to the earth. You see, we're finna see great mercy and great judgment from the same entity. All right, Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, my brother can post that as well. What's that? Sirach 16, and let's see what that is. Sirach. I believe it's the book of Sirach, chapter 16. Let's see. My brother posted Sirach. Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to it. I'm gonna read down. I go to it after that. Yep. I'll just get to it. This is reading on. It says, "My defense is of the Most High, which saveth the upright in heart. The Most High judges the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day, man." And now we're starting to see the Lord's anger really show in the earth, man. And this is why He's bringing on, all right, He's rolling out the scene of this Third World War. Okay, because in this Third World War, it's gonna bring a lot of devastation to the earth, man. And that's a part of one of the plagues that the Lord is bringing is this war, man. Okay, this is an instrument that the Lord is going to use to judge in the earth of this war. He wants the devastation. Okay, the Lord wants this type of devastation to take place in the earth, man. Okay, this is the Lord unleashing His anger. Okay, it said if He turn not, He will wet His sword, which is what, when you wet a sword, you sharpen it. Okay, the modern day sword are these missiles, man. Okay, and we're seeing, as the scriptures say, this war is being fought with flame and fuel of fires. Because even the conventional missiles, all right, the ultimate sword is those nuclear missiles, or those projectiles. It's going to have those nuclear warheads on them. Okay, that's the ultimate sword. Okay, and then even you have these conventional, okay, swords, these missiles, man. Okay, that's wreaking havoc. You see, it says he have bent his bow and made it ready. He have also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Okay, so the Lord has prepared the instruments of death. Okay, all this technology and weaponry that these nations have, well, the Lord prepared their weaponry, man. He put it on the mind of their engineers and their scientists, and okay, to come up, their development, industries, okay, manufacturing, your ability to manufacture, mass produce these weapons. Well, the Lord ordained it, okay, because these are the Lord's instruments of death. He says he ordained his arrows against the persecutors, man, and the main persecutors who Esau Edom. Because this war is going to remove Esau from power. See, in Esau's mind, he thinks that he's going to use this war to establish a new world order. No, the exact opposite. Because everything is backfiring that this nigga is doing. Okay, now do the elites capitalize off, do they find ways to capitalize off certain things that's happening? Absolutely. Okay, he's a cunning bastard. All right, so he always finds ways to capitalize off everything. That's his nature. Okay, does he play both sides? Absolutely. Okay, but that this nigga playing on this third world war, removing him from power? No, he thinks that this is going to establish, okay, and excel him into his new world order. Okay, but it's going to excel him into his overthrow and captivity, man. Okay, verse 14 said, behold, he travaileth with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood, man. Okay, and this all this man has done in his kingdom, okay, is conceived mischief, okay, and brought forth falsehood, man. Okay, even with everything that's going on, man, he has deceived the people, okay, in a false reality, man. Okay, most people look at what's going on and their perception is based off false reality, man, from media, man. Okay, this man runs a kingdom of falsehood, man. You see, to where deception, all right, is the foundation of this man's empire. You see, verse 15 says he made a pit and digged it and is fallen into the ditch which he made. Okay, so everything that he's laboring, because you got to labor, to dig a pit. Okay, you got to put labor into it. You got to invest into it. Okay, so everything that this nigga is laboring for and investing in, all right, just gonna implode on him, man. It's gonna fall on top of him, man. Okay, everything that this devil is trying to do is just gonna fall on top of him, man. He's gonna fall in the ditch which he made. Okay, because he made this, this this devil has brought about, all right, this confusion and this violent world order, man. This confused and violent world. Okay, and this same shit that he created, this non-stop war, this constant conflict, he benefits off the wars, and you know, so all this that he made, okay, it's gonna fall on top of him, man. It's gonna be his end. Okay, the wickedness that he's orchestrating, that's gonna be the wickedness that ends this man. Okay, so we're seeing the Lord orchestrate Esau's end. Okay, and Esau think he putting the play together to win. No, this is a snare, a snare. Okay, Esau done walked into the snare. Now he done. Esau done. He walked in. He in the trap. He can't get out this trap. He done walked into it. Okay, he said his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come upon his own pate. Okay, his violent dealings shall come upon his own pate, man. So now we're seeing all this violence that this man has pushed in the earth. It's finna come back on him. Okay, Esau didn't know all the moves. You see, Esau didn't understand all the moves on the board. Esau was limited, man. Esau is not all knowing. Okay, and he damn sure don't have it all figured out, man. He's limited. Okay, and the Most High is playing moves. Okay, that this devil has no answer for, man. Okay, don't never think that this devil is in full control, man. He controls, things, and he has, all right, a lot of things going on, but this devil is never in full control, man. Okay, nowhere near. Okay, he's just a piece on the Most High's board. Okay, so um, let's go here, which is Isaiah 9. Yeah, need that. So let's get some of these. Um, yeah, this the brother Yashima tribe of Judah. It says, "He that liveth forever, all right, created all things." It's Sirach 18:1. All right, verse 2. So he that liveth forever created all things, which is the Most High, and we know that He created everything through Yahweh Shai. Okay, it said the Lord only, okay, is righteous. There's none other, okay, but He. All right, verse 3. It says, and this the point, who governeth the world with the palm of His hand. Okay, so it's the Most High that's in full control. Okay, it's the Most High, all right, that has the last say so in every decision being made. Okay, that's why scripture say not even a farthing, a small bird, falls to the ground unless the Heavenly Father ordains it. Esau don't got that type of authority, the elites. Okay, I don't give a damn if they have a meeting with 10 Satans. Them niggas still don't have the type of authority. They're not all knowing and all powerful, man. Okay, so it's the Most High who govern the world with the palm of His hand. Esau's within His hand. Okay, so the least ain't on no even playing field like they tick for tack. No, they're just a pawn on the Most High chessboard that's being moved. Okay, it's the Most High that's moving the elites to do what He want them to do. Okay, and also to deceive them like they winning, like they can even have some opportunity to win. Okay, it says, "Who governeth the world with the palm of His hand, and all things obey His will. He is the King of all by His power, dividing holy things among them from the profane." Okay, so it's the Heavenly Father that's setting up everything that we see happening, man. That's why understanding the will of the Lord goes beyond in understanding. All right, it's good to understand. I say it's good to understand how the elites are moving and the tactics, because we're watching. So of course we watch this nigga patterns and we can peep this nigga out when he up to something and call this nigga out. Okay, but we have to understand the elites are working within, okay, the will of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. They're just pieces on the board too. The elites ain't outside the board playing the game. They're on the board too. They just think they on the outside. That's how the Lord got them deceived, man. The elites ain't on the outside of the board. All right, with the Most High. He's not on the other side of the board of the Most High. No, he's on the board being moved by, man. Okay, and these laser events show that the Most High put this nigga in the trick bag, man. Okay, and it says, "Who governed the world with the palm of His hand, and all things obey His will. For He is the King of all, by His power, dividing holy things, all right, among them from profane." Okay, so we're seeing the Lord, govern the affairs of the earth to His liking. Okay, so what we're seeing now is a time for war, and He got Esau fast tracking this new world order agenda. You know, so let's let's see what we got. Mm. So I want to segue here to let me see. Let's go to this first video. And just to show real quick, just to show a few things. Here we go. Oh yeah, brother got this. I don't know if this is a precept or not. Well, this on point. I don't know if that's a GNT. They didn't show the precept, bro. I don't know if sometimes they cut certain things off. But I don't know if that's a precept or not. If so, bro, if I was shy, you just post a chapter and verse to the precept. But that's right on point. It's linked right up with Sirach 18 and 3. You know, Heavenly Father. Because the Lord gave this nigga access to the left hand side. At the water, bro. I don't know why. I know sometimes he cut it off. But this is Judah, the book of Judah, chapter 9, verses 5 and 6 in the GNT. I gotta keep this in the arsenal. It says, your hand guided all that you said your it said this is Judah chapter 9, verses 5 through 6 in the GNT. It says, your hand guided all that happened then. All right, happened then, and all that happened before and after. You have planned it all, what is happening now, and what is yet to be. Your plans have always been carried out. So it's the plans of the Most High that we're seeing carry out. Damn what the elites got going on. They just do boys for Satan. And Satan is a do boy for the Most High. Okay? So the elites are just doing the bidding that the elites are on the assignment that the Heavenly Father got them on the left hand side. Okay, and they make sure extra confusion to where you really can't, you see, which the Spirit has revealed these niggas, and we get to, and it get to the point to where okay, we already know what they on. Like get to the point where it don't even take a lot of investigation to oh okay, you can see the elites. Because this is what they do. You recognize their patterns in particular things. Because it get to the point where you just see that these niggas, okay, it's these niggas, the usual suspects. Okay. But what we're seeing, okay, is the Most High getting ready to end this man. Okay. So now, all his counsels and this going on and that going on is starting to matter less and less. Because the Lord's finna end this man. Now the Lord finna stop playing with this nigga. Okay. It says, I'm gonna read this again. It says, your hand guided all that happened then and all that happened before and after. You have planned it all. What is happening now and what is yet to be, your plans have always been carried out. Okay? So it's the plan of the Lord that's being carried out, man. The least agenda only goes so far to where it don't even matter anymore. Okay, and we're seeing this man come to the end of being able to wiggle himself out of judgment, man. Matter of fact, I think the brother posted it. Yep. Let's get this. Yeah, the brother. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 2. The brother GMS the Mourns, it says, and they cover fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. Say they'll oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Okay. So these devils are used to being able to just go bully. Just come in and just overwhelm a nation militarily and come in and, occupy that land and extract these resources and bring in these major corporations to set up, all right, the infrastructure to extract and profit the resources, okay, from these native places and hire the locals for pennies and just enrich themselves and create new billionaires and new, streams of wealth, okay. This is what these devils are used to doing throughout the world. But see, now they made it to a point they can't do it anymore. The Most High done put a stopper on his ass, man. This is where the bullshit stopped. The Lord set a marker with Iran is okay. This is where this bullshit stop. Okay, this is what the Lord is doing. You see, and Esau tried to make it seem like, see, I really was trying to do this. See, this is what I want. No, nigga, the Most High done put a stop on this nigga, man. Okay, everybody always see U.S. really smart because now trying to need more. No, nigga, the Lord put a stop on this nigga, man. Okay. So this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 3. And it says, therefore, thus said the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which you shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for the time is evil. So he's not gonna be able to remove his neck from this, man. Okay? I don't care how many strategies this nigga got in the background and he got this going. Nigga, you're not gonna remove your neck from this judgment, man. The Most High has put a stop on this nigga. Now the tide is swinging in the other way. Okay? Because all this oil and this and that, and see, none of these nations finna be over the resources anyway. They all finna lose. Okay, so all these plays is, see, they really doing this, and now they can do this, and see, with they close the strait, it really worked for America. Nothing finna work for America, man. America finna be turned to a desert. Okay, America finna be turned to a goddamn desert, man. Okay, so let's play this and show you how prophecy is speaking, man. Okay, this is prophecy speaking. Just the words that are being used. This is prophecy, man. You know. That's why I'm just sticking mainly sticking to the simplicity of prophecy, man. Okay. So let's play this.
But anyway, Donald Trump, as all of this is happening, we know that the United States is considering the relocation of air defense systems and other military assets from South Korea and elsewhere into the Middle East because we are running out of munitions. Also, when Marco Rubio held that press conference yesterday and admitted that Israel forced the United States into war with Iran, when Rubio was asked what was imminent about the need to go to war with Iran. And he said, well, we know that Israel was about to attack Iran. And if Israel attacked Iran, Iran would strike the United States. So that's why we struck Iran with Israel, because Israel was going to attack them anyway. That's why it was imminent. Verbatim what Rubio said. But in addition, there were other parts of that press conference I want to highlight about the munitions, where Rubio says one of the big issues America's facing is that Iran is producing over 100 missiles a month, while the United States can only make 6 or 7 interceptors a month. Do you realize he's saying the quiet part out loud? Just listen to what he says here. Play this clip.
They are producing, by some estimates, over 100 of these missiles a month. Compare that to the 6 or 7 interceptors that can be built a month. They can build 100 of these a month, not to mention the thousands of one-way attack drones that they also have.
And then I, of course, want to share with you one more.
And that's some hell of a math. And see, they still speculating. They don't know for sure how many missiles Iran can build a month. They know how many, all right, interceptors they can build, all right, which is 6 or 7. Okay. But then just to say that was the number 100 a month to 6 to 7, nigga, that's not good math. Okay, that's not good math, man. And it's the Lord that got it set up like this, man. Okay, it's the Lord making moves in the earth, man, for His will to come to pass, man. Okay, and to cut out this bullshit Esau got going on in the earth, man. Esau finna be removed from power, man. Okay, that's the play at hand. Simplify everything. The Lord finna remove this nigga from power, man. Okay, he's finna try to throw up this tack ass new world order. He's gonna blame the prophets. This whole the sleeper cell things. With this, come on, man. We are brothers were saying that 5-6 years ago how this nigga's gonna do that. Okay, we already know he's not prolific, man. Okay, See a nigga coming a mile away. You see? But that's not good math. 100, okay, offensive missiles to 6 or 7 defensive missiles, nigga. That's not, nigga, you can't keep going like that. And that's why eventually, on down the line, okay, when this CHIP is mandated, that this war gonna have to go nuclear, man, because the West ain't gonna be able to hold up to no conventional war. All right, because they don't have the manufacturing capacity that Russia, China, and Iran has when it comes to manufacturing. Because even while Iran is doing these strikes, man, they're able to replenish their stockpiles as they're fighting, because they at home. Okay, America's not at home. You see, he never keep it at home. This is now it's working against him. It used to be in his favor. He used to go everywhere and win, but now his ass away from home and is working against him. Okay, so let's play this.
More time, what Marco Rubio said, that Israel forced the U.S. into war with Iran. It is a direct quote. Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego responded, "What the F happened to America first?" Listen to what Rubio said for yourself. Play this clip.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer for more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen, and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
And then you had MAGA Mike Johnson echo this also.
They had to evaluate the threats to the U.S., to our troops, to our installations, to our assets in the region and beyond. And they determined, because of the exquisite intelligence that we had, that if Israel fired upon Iran and took action against Iran to take out the missiles, then they would have immediately retaliated against U.S. personnel and assets. We have troops in harm's way, and we have many Americans in the region, and that was of a great concern.
Now, we're learning some additional details as well. See,
so they're telling you that the small has drug them in. Okay, they're telling you that the small hats drug them in, and it was the small hats. All right, it was their strike teams. Okay, their Air Force strike teams. They killed. All right, Kalamani. Okay, the Ayatollah, the supreme leader. Okay, which okay, which started a major ripple effect throughout their whole region, man. We're going to get into that. All right, because these Shiite Muslims are going crazy in their region, man. Okay, you had which we'll get into it. All right, but gonna stick to the point. But basically, all these U.S. politicians are telling you, look, the small has drug us into this. That's basically what they're saying, nigga. If the small heads go, we had to go, and the Lord set it up like that where they had no choice, because America didn't want to go through with it. These American generals been telling these politicians and Pete Hegseth and look and Trump, it's gonna be bad, and it's worse than what they thought. But they was telling them, look, this gonna be bad if we do this. That's why they kept banging down. Okay, but the small hats, they went with it anyway because they had to fulfill their role in prophecy and drag America into this, man. Now America is in it. They in it now. Okay, and what Iran did was drag America further into it by attacking all these American assets in their region. Okay, now all these nations, okay, are looking at America like, damn, where all this protection, where all this high-tech shit that y'all been sending us and selling us over these decades, nigga, what is it doing? You see, we sitting ducks. So now America is knee deep into it. Ain't no getting out. Okay? And the Most High done put Babylon in the trick bag. They done put the elites in the trick bag. Okay? And that weak ass New World Order agenda ain't gonna be established, man. Nigga finna lose, and everything that this nigga put his hands to is finna fail and be destroyed, man. Okay? That's what's getting ready to happen.
BS and others have reported about these 6 soldiers who we know died. That number is likely to climb. And
then they always throwing the 6 in because it's been first it started with 3. You know, G Devils, because with Western media, like nothing but an enchantment. Because for the longest they kept saying there was only 3 soldiers. That was their first announcement. It was 3. So now after all these strikes, okay, it went from 3 to 6. Okay, 666. The 3 sixes, man. It went from 3 soldiers for the first. It was for a day or so. It was stuck at 3. Now it's been stuck at this number 6 for the last few days. Okay, it's 3 sixes, man. Okay, you know, and that's getting tacky and played out, man. Make your move, man. Okay, so they play this.
the amount of seriously injured and wounded is about to climb. But these 6 troops that are confirmed dead were from that port in Kuwait, and they were in this kind of makeshift trailer area. Incoming warning systems did not work on time. The people who were in this makeshift area in Kuwait had actually recommended that this not be used because there were so many soldiers next to each other. It was very susceptible to drone attacks. And so there was lots of complaints about this kind of makeshift tactical operations. And of course, they were ignored by Pete Hegseth because, you know, he's too busy talking about the warrior ethos. This isn't a regime change, but the regime sure changed. Whatever the hell he was saying yesterday. The United States also doesn't really have any backup other than the U.S. and Israel going it alone. I mean, in France, you have President Emmanuel Macron saying, we ain't sending our Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier for this. Ain't happening. In the UK, in their parliament, Prime Minister Keir Starmer addressed parliament and said, we will not commit our military to an unlawful war. Here, listen to what Keir Starmer says. Here, play this clip.
Exposing our military personnel to action that risks their lives, making sure that it is lawful before we ask them to do that. I think that is the duty of the Prime Ministers. A previous Prime Minister has taken exactly the same approach. I will, of course, read the Shadow Attorney's advice, but I'm very clear in the advice that I received. And I will not commit our military personnel to unlawful action. That is not what they would expect and deserve. They are entitled to better than that.
So then
the British ain't coming. Okay, the British ain't coming. You see, the EU nation. See, this is backfiring against the devil, man, and this is going to make all these nations side with Russia. All right, and the kings of the East, and they're just gonna nuke America, man. Okay, the small hats in America are very isolated on this, man. Okay, and they still have a little support here and there, you know, politically, but then all this finna get ready to flip because it's gonna keep getting worse and worse for these small hats in America, man. Okay, in Babylon, man. Okay, because what did the script say? The EU, they're gonna burn the whore. Okay. And this does nothing but destroys Europe's economy because the Strait of Hormuz is not going to have a major impact on America. You know, it's going to eventually, the longer it play out, it's going to have an impact because America gets most of its oil domestically and from Canada. You know, they get a few small percentage from Iraq and Saudi Arabia, but it's in single digits. Okay, but 90% of the oil needed to energize America's infrastructure, all right, comes from the Western Hemisphere. Okay, mainly Canada is the number one supplier of oil to America. Okay, but these EU nations are going to be devastated. Okay, I'm going to show you that the EU is already feeling, all right, the squeeze of the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, the EU, India, China, they're going to feel it before, okay, it affects America in any type of way. Okay, but it's America that's causing this, man. You see? So let's play this some more.
Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, went on state regime media here on Fox in order to spread propaganda. And he was like, well, we want you all to know we're the good guys, not the bad guys. We're the good guys. Okay, here, play this clip.
We're fighting here the bad guys. We're the good guys.
And then he said, then Sean Hannity asks him, there are people who say you dragged Donald Trump into this. Ha 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 ha. How could I drag him into this? He's the strongest leader in the world. I don't know. Maybe that's how you drag. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, actually, we never said drag. Trump went along with it quite willingly. I'm sure Netanyahu wouldn't call Rubio a liar, though. Let's play this clip.
I want to ask you this. You know, there are people that say, well, the prime minister of Israel dragged Donald Trump into it. And as somebody that's been friends with him over 30 years, nobody drags Donald Trump into anything, number one. But I want to get your reaction to that.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's ridiculous. Donald Trump is the strongest leader in the world. He does what he thinks is right for America. He does also what he thinks is right for future generations. And frankly, we're partners in that effort because I've devoted my life to securing the life of the one and only Jewish state. And believe me, it's been a struggle. I've known the pangs of war. I lost a brother in war and in battle. I myself fought terrorists and was wounded in liberating hostages from a hijacked plane. I held a fellow soldier in my arms when I was 18, and he died in my arms. I know the cost of war, but I know sometimes that war is necessary to protect us from the people who would destroy us. And that's what free societies have to understand.
And then Netanyahu's like, this is not an endless war. This is gateway to peace that we're watching, a gateway to peace. Play it.
And I believe that we can achieve it. The most important thing to understand is that when we work together, President Trump and I, we achieved, in fact, 4 breakthroughs for peace, brokered by President Trump, working together with me. We brought forward the Abraham Accords, which was 4 peace treaties with 4 Arab countries. And now, working together against Iran, we'll be able to bring many, many more peace treaties. So this is.
And they constantly screaming peace, but it's only war. All right. And everyone is saying, like, look, you dragged Trump into this war. Well, prophecy said that he was going to drag, the least of the flock was going to drag, okay, Babylon into the war. Okay. Let's get there real quick. Okay. Prophecy said that these small hats, the least of the flock, was going to drag. All right, we're gonna get that word drag again because in the prophecy it says draw. Okay, this is Jeremiah 49:20 said, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord. Going back to the counsel of the Lord. All we gotta do is stick to the counsel of the Lord, and it's making perfect sense what's happening, man. It's making perfect sense because he said, I didn't drag Trump into this war. He's the strongest, what Trump would do, boy. Okay, they just push to the public that he's some strong, magnificent, all right, brave, courageous, intelligent leader. Okay, they need the American people to believe their distraction. Okay, but they know Trump will do, boy, and he got dragged into this. Okay, just like the count, because it's part of the counsel of the Lord. It was part of the counsel of the Lord to drag America into this war, man. Okay, so the Lord can finish this bitch, man. It said, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Okay, because it's going to lead to the land of Israel being completely wiped out. Okay, but it's going to be rebuilt. Let's see. Well, that land of Israel is going to be purged with fire, man. Okay, so that place is going to be wiped out, and we're seeing the build up to that. Okay, it's gonna be desolate of its current inhabitants, man. These small hats, these Ishmaelites, okay, or whoever else in their land. Guess what? Well, they finna be decimated out of their land. They finna be destroyed out of their land. Okay, and that land is going to be cleansed and refined for his true people, man, the remnant of Israel. Okay, and then you have America. It's going to be desolate forever. It's going to be never inhabited again. It's going to be turned to America because they're going to get way worse than even what the small hat's going to get, man. Okay, so the Lord set up these small hats just to drag America into this war. That's exactly what they did. They did what they were supposed to do. Okay, they did exactly what they supposed to do, man. All right. I ain't mad at them, man. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Okay. Because America was dragging his feet. All right. But these small heads, they got the party started, man. Okay. And you go into this word and draw in the Hebrew, which you always go into it, which is on sahab, which goes into it to drag, to trail along. Okay. And you go here. Let's go here to I think I pulled up the definition. Yeah. So you go into drag. It said drag. It says to pull someone to something along forcefully, roughly, or with difficulty, man. All right, because those small hats, they was having a hell of a time trying to convince America to go to war with Iran. Okay, so the small hats had to pull. Okay, and forcefully, they forced America's hand. You see, these small hats, they forced America's hand, just like the prophecy say, just like the counsel of the Lord says, man. Okay, so we seen these small hats, all right, forcefully, all right, they forcefully pushed America into this war. Now they here now, it's over. They ended now. Ain't no going backwards. Okay, they now you in the shootout. You see, it's here now. Okay, let's get this. I say these nations are seeing what's happening to, all right, these infrastructures, okay, in these Gulf Arab states and these European nations. Like, nah, we don't, we don't want no part of that, man. We don't want nothing to do with that. Okay, so let's go here real quick. All right, because Esau getting there chased out the earth. If a brother can put that, Isaiah 13 should be a chase row. I believe that's Isaiah 13. Yeah, Isaiah 13, verses 13 and 14. Really 15 too, And we're seeing this happening, man. One thing about prophecy starts on a small scale, then it just gradually, grows and grows. Yep. Well, yeah, Bob was shot, brother put 13 and 15 as well. Because it's just tying to what we seeing happen in real time. All right, so so let's read this. Brother GMS the Morning, Jeremiah 15:12. It says, your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Okay, so the mother of America is the British Empire. You know, the original 13 colonies of America were what? A British colony. Okay, so it's a British Empire that birthed, okay, the whore of America, man. All right, and you see the British Prime Minister like, man, we not getting in this unlawful war. And them niggas wicked too, you know. They gonna get their work too. Them chairs gonna show up and get busy. All right, the British Empire guilty as hell too. And they got a lot of blood on their hand. Okay. That's why your house shot and the chairs gonna come and destroy, all right, all the militaries of the earth, man. Okay, so you might not side with the whore, okay, but you still are ops to Yahweh Shah. Okay, but what you're seeing is these EU nations, you know, they might politically, you know, take a stand with America, but they not getting involved in the fight. They not running to the fight because guess what? Iran struck Cyrus, and Cyrus is British territory. Okay, the island of Cyprus, you know, I'm gonna say Cyprus, Slaki, is British territory, and Iran done struck because they let America, all right, refuel those jets on Cyprus, and Iran struck Cyprus. Anywhere that America military operating in their region is getting hit, guaranteed. One thing can't no one say is that Iran lied. They did everything they said they were gonna do. Okay, and they ain't got no respect of person. You know, they ain't being selectively tough. Okay, wherever American planes take off from, wherever American Navy vessels port at, is they got hit. They being hit as we speak. You know, and that's the thing. Now everybody quiet. You know, everybody trying to figure out some type of excuse to still try to make America be tough and smart. And no, man, America getting their ass whooped, man. Okay? Small has never stood a chance. You see? But every time America do something, America can pinch somebody. Oh, man, they the toughest, they the baddest, they ain't gonna never fall, man. It's the greatest, man. Everybody weak, America strong. America pinch somebody, and they say, oh, man. But then now America getting their ass drugged throughout the whole region. Now they're trying to figure out, well, see, really, they trying to choke China out, man. Shut up. Okay? America getting their ass beat, man. You know? And EU ain't helping. Okay? They can't help. With what? You see? So let's play this real quick. Then we'll get them precepts.
I think it's a disaster. It's going to take more time, but over time, it's going to get worse for us. Remember, we are the ones that have been boasting to the world about how powerful we are and how the entire world needs to shake in fear of the American military power. Well, then people are going to expect us to perform. Iran, on the other hand, hasn't got to do anything other than survive. As long as Iran survives and the longer the war lasts, the weaker we look, the weaker Israel looks, and the stronger Iran looks. And I think Iran is going to survive. I don't see any evidence that it's going to suddenly pick up the phone, call Washington, and beg for mercy. Don't see that happening. So we're in a real trick. I think at the end of the day, we're going to be swept out of the region. Look at what's happening in Iraq right now. The Shia are rising, and the Iraqi government wants us out of the country. It's wanted us out for years. I think we're going to have to get out. I don't think anybody living in the Gulf is going to want us in proximity to any of their harbors or airports or anything else. So I think this is a developing disaster for us. And Israel's Iron Dome isn't working very well. And although we are definitely trying to fire missiles in support of Israel at air and missile defense, the Iranians seem to have moved technologically much further than we anticipated. They are now able to deliver missiles that have decoys that produce multiple warheads, and then the real dangerous missile that you're trying to penetrate with flies through while we are preoccupied with decoys. So
he made a point. He said, look, America being chased out the region, man. Okay, America is getting their chased out the region. You see? And then this one, and these hotels that they trying to house American personnel, they getting hit too. You know, they getting hit too. America's being chased out the region. America is not. Iran is saying America is not welcome in the region. This is what Iran is doing, saying, nigga, you're not welcome in the region. Iran been saying this to these Gulf Arab states, like, look, we don't need these niggas over here, man. Okay? But now Iran has built up such a stockpile, man, that they can keep so much pressure on that America is having to fall back. Okay? America being chased out the region. What do the scriptures say? That's why I wanted that Isaiah. Brother, yep, brother got it. The water to all you Akim, tuning in, helping with the screen. Shalom to you, sincere sisters listening, and learning. Okay? Because we up. We up. Prophecy got us way up, man. Esau done. Okay? Isaiah 13:3. They said, therefore, it's the brother GMS the morning. It said, therefore will I shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, all right, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. So the Lord's finna show his anger. This is why all this is happening, man. Okay? Down them goddamn pipelines. That shit ain't finna exist no more. Ain't finna be no pipelines. Okay? The Lord finna show his anger in the earth, man. It's gonna shake the earth with these nukes. Okay? Because there's me speculating, it seems like when they get to that point, because we know the MOTB has to be mandated first, but it seems like it's gonna get to that point to where America gonna have to send some nukes to get niggas up off of, man. They're gonna have to send, but see, the thing that's gonna happen, they got it set up to where once one country shoots a nuke, in this sense that they shot a nuke, okay, these other nations, their nukes gonna automatically come out the silos, man. Okay, China already said, nigga, if we get nuked, you won't. He said we might get hit with one nuke, but it's a guarantee you won't get a second one off. Okay, but it's looking just speculate. The Lord got it how he got it, but we know it's gonna be a nuclear war, and America gonna be turned to a desert, and the earth gonna shake. We know that's for sure. Okay, but the way it's seeming with this conventional war, America, because if America catch a hell with Iran by themselves, when Russia, Turkey, and China join in, oh my goodness. Okay, so these small hats in America, I can see them niggas getting to that desperate point where they gonna have to let something off, get these niggas off of them, man. Because the conventional shit, that aircraft carrier, that old ass plate, America got that old ass Mad 95 playbook, man. That shit don't work no more. It only work on Venezuela and Cuba and Bosnia. Some shit you gotta Google. It only work on them countries. You gotta go Google where this at, where that's at. It work on them punching bags, but someone with an actual strategy, that shit don't work. Okay, that wing T offense America running, that shit don't work no more, man. Okay, and these nations showing them, all right, now Iran is showing the blueprint, all right, that the bully ain't that tough after all, man. Okay, read verse 14 and says, and it shall be as a chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, that it says they shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone to his own land. So America is like a chase roe. You Edomites, you're like a chase roe. Because guess what? A lot of these nations, and another genius strategy Iran is using, they're striking these American military bases in these Gulf Arab states. But a lot of these Gulf Arab populations are Shiite Muslims. All right. the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran that they killed, he was a Shiite Muslim. Okay, so what's happening? You having uprisings of these people against these governments, these American, because see, these Shiite Muslims are anti-American. Okay, but you have a lot of these governments of the Gulf Arab states that are pro-American. So now what you're seeing that these citizens are cheering, all right, these Iranian strikes on military assets in their country. So these these Shiite Muslims are doing actual uprisings, okay, in these different countries, man. Okay, even those F-15s that came down. So those jets, those fighter jets, I mean those pilots. Okay, they had to parachute out of those jets, and they said when they landed, okay, that military personnel from Bahrain and Kuwait, I think it was Kuwait, military personnel from Kuwait had to surround the American pilot because the mobs, them Shiite Islam mobs, they was coming for him. You know, so their land has become very hostile against Edomites, man. Okay, that the region has become very hostile, and now they emboldened based off what Iran is doing. Now they become emboldened, man. You see, Esau tried to do everything that Esau has tried to do. Now is working against him. Okay, so now Iran has all these different uprisings throughout all these Gulf Arab states, these Shiite Muslim uprisings. Okay, just like America tried to do the uprisings in Iran and it backfired. But now you have real uprisings that's happened amongst these Shia Muslim Arab states, man. Okay, so everything that the devil is trying to do is backfiring, man, and he's becoming the chase row in the land. Okay, they stormed the embassy, okay, in Pakistan, because Pakistan is Shiite Muslim. Pakistan is a nuclear power. Okay, when Pakistan and India got into a dogfight with them fighter jets, which Pakistan got Chinese fighter jets, those J-20s. Okay, India has American fighter jets, those F-16s. Okay, well, guess what? Them J-20s shot them F-16s out the sky, which shows you that Chinese tech has superiority over American tech. Okay, so this thing getting interesting, man, and it's getting worse for America as it goes on, man. Okay, verse 15, this brother GMS Des Moines, Isaiah 13 and 15 said, "Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword," man. So if you're an ally with America, you getting them swords put on your ass, man. And it's gonna ultimately go into those nukes, and that's why the small, because the last two standing, because everybody gonna flip, and don't nobody want that smoke, man. Don't nobody want their infrastructure pummeled. Okay, so everybody gonna flip, man. And Iran is doing the demonstration of showing you, all right, what it means to be an American ally D-Day. Okay, this is what comes with being an American ally. Okay, kaboom. You know, that's what it means to be an American ally. Okay, you get caught up in these ninth wave, the sixth wave, the eighth wave. I think they on the 10th wave. You know, but said, we've been going by the hour and some. They might be on the 12th wave as we speak. Okay, and if you're an American ally, you getting caught up in this wave, so the world is stepping back. Well, look, there's no benefit, you know, to being an American ally, man, an ally to Babylon, man, and these nations gonna flip. Okay, um, yeah, this Isaiah 33 and 1, brother GMS Des Moines. It said, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wasn't spoiled, and dealeth treacherously, they dealt not treacherously with thee. It says, and they dealt not treacherously with thee when thou shalt cease to spoil. Okay, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to dealing treacherous, they shall deal treacherously with thee, man. Okay, so America is set up, okay, for the ultimate back door. They say around the way. All right, these nations from the back door America, man. Okay, and turn this place to a desert. So let's I want to go jump up a little bit on this. Because now everybody talking Bible talk, man. You know, the Bible is speaking. Okay.
Of war say this morning, we didn't start this war, but we're going to end it. Well, I
still got that pride, you know. But let's brother could post Ezekiel 12 and 22 and 23 Papa Shah. Okay, because everybody talking Bible language now.
Somebody will say, please stop. We'll do whatever you want. Maybe that's the goal. I don't think anyone has thought through the criticality of ending the war. How do you end it? And the thing that's funny is that I listened to the Secretary of War say this morning, we didn't start this war, but we're going to end it. Well, I think we did start this war. The Israelis started it, and we jumped on board. All of the things that we continue to cite about it, the reasons for going to war are specious, but the most depressingly stupid reasons are ones that go back 47 years ago or 40 years ago. You know, the numbers of people that have actually, whose death you can trace back to Iran is in the low hundreds. It's not a large number. And the Iranians did not behave during the Iraq war any differently than we would have behaved if there were a similar war in Mexico. In other words, you do what you can to deter the force that's on the ground in the neighboring country from entering yours. You know, the other thing is that we have, I think, 4,000 missiles left in our inventory, something in that regard. Maybe those are different kinds, cruise and ballistic, I don't know. Iran has about 450,000. So that's
So they saying Iran, they're speculating Iran might have 450,000. Okay. That's a hell of a miscalculation, man. You see, that's a hell of a miscalculation by America, man. Okay, is America, you know, because America limited. You're 5,000 miles away from home at war. Okay, and then the places where you go replenish, well, Iran is destroying it. Okay, your stockpiles in their region, all this being hit. Iran just not shooting random missiles, man. They're strategically breaking America down to where American military won't be able to function after this, man. Okay, I think there's a saying where there's decades that nothing happened, and then there's weeks when decades happen. We're in that time. We're in that time when in the week decades are happening, man. Okay, all that military buildup in their region from America is being strategically broken down. They're not just striking just to be striking anything, random buildings. No, they're breaking down America's ability to function as a military in their region. Okay.
That's quite a gap. You know, the other thing is you can kill a leader, but you can't bomb a civilization into submission. And we've never understood what we were dealing with in Iran. Everybody talks about Iran as some sort of radical Islamic state. Nothing could be further from the truth. Iran is ultimately Persia, and that civilization is much older. And Persian civilization, Persian thinking, Persian philosophy, Persian art and history, all of those things have been asserting their dominance over the last 25 to 30 years. And the people of Iran have largely walked away from this more ideologically rigid form of Islam. It's not, they didn't hate Khomeini, and they didn't dance in the streets when he was killed. On the contrary, people saw him as a very, I think, humble and decent human being. He sacrificed his life. He stayed where he knew he would be killed. Killing him has made him a martyr that even people that don't like Islam can honor. So I think we've galvanized the place against us. We've mobilized the people against us. I don't see anything good coming out of this. And this is the problem with us. We project our values, our thinking, our experience onto others. Well, our experience may hold up in connection with European experience, but it doesn't match the experience of people in the Middle East and Asia, or Africa for that matter, or even Latin America. So that's why I think, we're in a different world right now, and we don't even understand it. The world is changing, and the old world is ending, and we're fighting the emergence of the new world. I think we could say that, the future of the
And the future of the world is for Israel. You see? Well, one thing people know, they don't understand that the transition, all right, of kingdoms is being transitioned from Esau to Jacob. Okay, but they do know, all right, this old world order is done. Okay. They know that this old world is finished. This old age is done. Okay. And then he said, the Iranians, they're tapping into their Persian spirit. You see? He said Iran is tapping into their Persian spirit. That's biblical talk, man. They're going back to biblical language, man. Everything is the Lord is putting the spirit. That's why Iran moving like they moving, man. They tapping back into their Persian spirit, man. Okay, they conquering spirit, they conquest, their spirit of conquest, man. Okay, you might have Cyrus over there somewhere, man. Don't tell them, man. Hey, but they in that spirit of conquest, man. Okay, because they saying the guy that was that's the commander of the IRG now. They say he was always the strategic man behind the Ayatollah, the Ayatollah. But he's the guy that's in charge. But they say he's the one that was coming up with a lot of strategy in the background. Okay, well, he's the one that's in charge now. Okay. Nothing that America doing is working forward but against it, man. Okay. Now, let's go from there. Let's go here. So let's go here and play this. Yeah. So now what's happening, Americans having to move those assets that they had in their region. Okay, all those assets that America, was able to just stage in their region, just go wage war, in this region of the earth. Now, all right, they're having to move those assets out their region.
There are moments in history that are broadcast live for the whole world to see, moments that shatter the carefully constructed illusions of power. We are witnessing one of those moments right now in the Middle East. A video has emerged from Dubai, and it is nothing short of seismic. It shows, in plain sight, the United States military in what can only be described as a full-blown evacuation. We aren't talking about a few troops rotating out. We are talking about warplanes, nuclear-capable bombers, and those iconic heavy-lift helicopters ferrying personnel out of the region as if the ground beneath them has turned to fire.
And we'll now shift focus specifically to the United Arab Emirates, where Iran's retaliatory strikes are continuing for a third day.
Iran continues to batter UAE's Dubai. Iranian Shahed drones in Dubai skies. Dubai night sky lights up in Iranian strike.
Tehran retaliated, launching waves of drones and missiles across the Gulf. Dubai has continued to face direct hits since then.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
This isn't a drill. This is a superpower caught off guard. Its aura of invincibility dissolving in the heat of the Persian Gulf sun. Watch the chaos of the evacuation. Note that we have not independently verified this footage, but it seems it was captured in Dubai.
That's what speculation. Hey, American forces getting out of there, man. They gotta move them assets out of there, man, because they just all sitting ducks, sitting targets. Okay. So hey, Chase Rowe.
And the entrenched dictatorships of the region have slept soundly under the American security blanket. But that blanket has just been set alight by the sheer determination of the Iranian retaliation. The message from Tehran is clear. You attack us, and your assets, your bases, your people, none of them are safe. The Pentagon is getting a reality check so brutal that it will be studied in war colleges for decades, not as a lesson in American dominance, but as a textbook example of strategic miscalculation. The images coming out of the UAE are stark. That video, which has since gone viral despite attempts to scrub it from the internet, shows a frantic pace at Dubai's airfields. This isn't
Niggas on the hop. Niggas on the hop.
To scrub it from the internet, shows a frantic pace at Dubai's airfields. This isn't the orderly withdrawal of a confident force. It has all the hallmarks of a rush to get air assets out of the danger zone. And it's not just Dubai. Pete Hegseth was driven to tears as he struggled to show confidence in face of Iranian decimations.
Secretary Hegseth, I had two questions for you. First, are there currently any American boots on the ground in Iran?
No, but we're not going to go into the exercise of what we will or will not do. I think it's one of those fallacies for a long time that this department or presidents or others should tell the American people this, and our enemies, by the way, here's exactly what we'll do. Here's exactly how long we'll go. Here's exactly how far we'll go. Here's what we're willing to do and not do. It's foolishness. And so President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years. We've proven that you can achieve objectives that advance American interests without being foolish about it. Now, will we be bold about it? Are we willing to be decisive about it? Do we put months and months of planning into what kind of effects we want to achieve? Absolutely. But going forward, why in the world would we tell you, the enemy, anybody, what we will or will not do in pursuit of an objective? We fight to win. We fight to achieve the objectives the President of the United States has laid out, and we will do so unapologetically. Thank you.
The situation has escalated far beyond a single city.
And that's y'all leaders, man. It's American leaders. So now that there's transparency is gone. Okay? Because they're looking crazy as hell. Trump is looking crazy as hell. Pete Hegseth. You see, they just rode that high of Venezuela. You know, Venezuela, they got to beat their chest. They got to boast. They got to call out Russia and China. And, you know, they was on one. But with this one, it went the exact opposite way. Okay? And the American soldiers are paying the price for it. Okay? And eventually the American civilians going to pay a price for it, man. All right? Because it's going to go into a nuclear war. Okay? just to show you, because real quick, because it was because you see here, because they talk about how these, because this Bahrain, all right, and they've been on Bahrain the heaviest, you know, because this is one of the most strategic air bases, all right, the Navy docks, all right, in the Persian Gulf, okay, and they've been on this one tough. But what you're going to see is how less and less of these missiles are being intercepted, which showing you that these bases are being depleted, okay, or their defense systems, okay. But just see how so many targets, I mean, so many missiles are getting through. Because day one, it was like 2, 3, you know, you'll see 2, 3, most of them being shot down. But now you're seeing that they don't have as much defense as they had in day one, because they've been doing this, all right, for 72 hours straight pressure. You know, even those weak, you know, because they had made calculations, they can go a week. They can do a week campaign with enough air defense. But see, Iran is going at such a pace that they didn't expect. You see, they didn't expect this type of pace. So now these things are being diminished quick. Okay, so let's play this.
Iran's powerful military arm, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
You see, it's like everything getting through. And this was the whole thing, was to overwhelm these defense systems, man. We'll just play it again. It's like everything getting through. All right, Iran opening the whole region up. They opening it, the whole region is being opened up, man. You know, better trying to box with no arms. Okay.
Iran's powerful military arm, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, claims it has carried out a massive drone and missile assault on a United States airbase in the Sheikh Issa area of Bahrain. According to the IRGC, 20 drones and 3 missiles were launched in what it described as the 14th wave of Operation True Promise 4.
No, I'm behind. They on the 14 wave already. So this the 14 wave. They'll be on 20 before lunch, maybe, man. You know, because I got a another video that shows.
The target, they say, was the main command.
And I just wanted to show that and show you how the defense system is opening up. Okay, they being diminished to nothing. Okay, see, it's gonna get worse. It's really getting worse by the hour. You know, because of the pace, you know, that Iran is keeping. You know, so it's really getting worse by the hour. So let's go here. I want to play this one real quick. So let's play this.
So it's clear, Donald Trump and his terrorist masters, Benjamin Netanyahu, had deluded themselves by thinking to occupy Iran and its vast natural resources by bombing the country and killing their supreme leader. One of their calculations was also to cause massive unrest in the country so that the administration would implode from within. Guess what? Whilst Iran has held its ground and is fighting back valiantly, the mass murder of over 180 girls from an elementary school have sent a chilling reminder to even those opposed to the government. They are now worried about potential consequences to their own well-being, not from the Iranian government, but from the Israeli and American genocidal maniacs. If they can kill 180 children, what's a guarantee that they won't be killed by the same people? They're fast realizing that these bloodthirsty thugs don't care about their interests. Also, guess which country has imploded from within as the direct result of this conflict? It's not Iran, it's Bahrain, arguably the biggest ally of America and Israeli terrorists in the Gulf region, along with the UAE. This is where the US has or had the headquarters of its Navy's Fifth Fleet. I use the word had because the Iranians have bombed the hell out of this headquarters in the last couple of days. So American and Israeli terrorists illegally attacked Iran, hoping to cause unrest here, but instead ended up causing an unrest in Bahrain against its repressive regime. There have been violent clashes between protesters and the members of the brutal Bahraini dictatorship. But this is not the only setback for Trump. When you stop taking the utterances of this motormouth seriously, you will realize that he's already panicking. His embassy in the settler colony of Israel has already abandoned the Americans. I've never seen anything like this before. This would be the broad focus of my video today. Also in today's video, a look at the ugly side of the British media and its propaganda against Iran. So please stay tuned. The Iranians have retaliated with more ferocity as they fired more advanced versions of ballistic and hypersonic missiles into the settler colony and across the region. As I said before, the Iranian missiles are facing little or no resistance from the Israeli air defense system. And this is what is making the war planners in the settler colony and more crucially in the US more jittery. Because whilst Iran has shown no signs of going easy with its use of missiles and drones against their enemies in the region, the rogue Israelis and Americans have already begun worrying about their stockpile of interceptor missiles. The Iranians have said they can continue with the current pace for at least 90 days.
Now, one thing about it, Iran ain't lied yet. Iran ain't lied yet. Now, Iran said they can keep up with this current pace for 90 days. I don't think people know what that means. This current pace that they on now, they can keep it up for 90 days? Yeah, man, this different. Okay? This different. Hey, Iran going way beyond everybody's expectation, but we said Iran was going to shock the world. Iran was going to shock the world. But why is that? Because of prophecy. That wild boar. Okay? And in Second Esdras 15, that wild boar. Okay? Iran is going at a crazy pace right now. This is an insane pace that they going at with all these waves. And they striking 11 different countries at one time. And they can keep it up for 90 days. They can strike 11 countries for 90 days, man. Shit. Yeah, I think they killed the wrong guy. Yeah, they should have left him alone. You see, but that's crazy. When I heard that 90 days, because I was, for a month, I said they might could do it about a month. They said 90, that's 3 months.
US Army Colonel Douglas McGregor, who previously advised the US Secretary of Defense, says that the Iranians had surprised everyone.
What about China's ability to impact outcomes in the Straits of Hormuz with what is now the government of Iran and then 50% of their oil on the other side waiting to get through?
Well, China and Russia are sitting on the sidelines monitoring everything. They're in close touch with the government. They're providing satellite intelligence, which accounts for some of the tremendous successes, particularly in Israel and on our U.S. bases. All of our bases have been destroyed. Our harbor installations are destroyed. We're actually having to fall back on India and Indian ports, which are less than ideal. That's what the Navy says. And I think Iran, much to our disappointment, is faring very, very well. The question is, how long can we keep this up? I think logistics is the vulnerable part of this entire operation. Remember, you got to go back and reload. You've got to fly things in. You've got to sail in. Iran is a continental power, 93 million people, the size of Western Europe. Both China and Russia are continental powers. They don't have supply chain problems. Their manufacturing capabilities are intact. Right now, the missile cities that underlie all of Iran's provinces are untouched, and they have an inexhaustible supply of missiles. I think this is going to go on for some time. And the question is, when does Israel step up and say they've had enough? We went through that before during the 12-day war. When do they say this is too much? When do they say, if this doesn't stop, we use a nuclear weapon? That's what I would be concerned about. And that's where President Trump, who really doesn't appear to be in charge, Mr. Netanyahu does, has got to be prepared to step in and say, no, there will be no use of nuclear weapons. That's what I worry about.
Land beats houses every single time, and I can prove it in the next 60 seconds. While house flippers are dropping thousands.
Yeah, so let's go here, man. It's getting worse by the hour. Okay, for America, man. But let's go here. I end it here. You know, I got a lot more to watch today, you know, so spirit allow, you know, we be back on, man. It's everything we hope for happening, man. Oh yeah, that's why I want to get real quick before I get those precepts. This is what we're watching. You know, I looked it up because I heard the I forgot what brother. I think it was one of the main brothers in New York that said, I believe that elder brother Shaman, that I heard say it first. And then the apostles had quoted it as well. Okay, it said there are decades when nothing happens, and there are weeks when decades happens. Okay, is a famous, often quoted phrase frequently attributed to Vladimir Lenin, describing how in times of crisis, rapid transformations change, transformative change compresses years of historical, social, and economic shifts into a few intense days or weeks. And we in that time where decades are happening in weeks. Okay? Because what Iran has done just these first 3 days, man, they've destroyed decades of infrastructure and military logistics, okay, of America in their region. They've done it in 72 hours, man. Okay, so we're in the time where decades are happening in weeks, man. Okay, things are speeding up, man. Okay, now whether you know, I speculate, you know, the Russian may intervene, you know, and put on Iran collar, you know, had to do him like had the old boy had to get gold mouth off Eddie Murphy in Life. All right, the boy had enough beating. All right, so that might can happen, and you can see a ceasefire brokered by, you know, Russia, which is going to give Russia all the legitimacy and sway on the global stage. You know, so that could be a play that can happen farther on down, or they can be at it for months, man. You know, it could go a lot of ways, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. We'll watch and see. This is way more interesting than the Super Bowl, the finals, T.I., 50 Cent. You know, some you know, this is way more interesting, man. You know, so yeah. Let's get these last few precepts from the beloved brother. Yeah, this is GMS Des Moines, Ezekiel 12:22. Says, "Son of man, what is that proverb that you have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision failing?" You know, because there was a time where, you know, the prophets were on mute. You know, we were just something to walk past. okay, on your Saturday evening, you know, or Friday evening, just something to drive or walk past. Okay, like, you know, he's on mute. But see, now what we're seeing, okay, is the Lord have these prophecies screaming at people, man. Okay. Now people are starting to feel the effects of these prophecies, man. Okay. And America done turned that wild boy loose over there, man. Okay. That wild boy is on the loose. Okay. And America's fine. He can't do nothing with it. Okay. Ezekiel 12:23. Tell them, therefore, thus said the Lord power, I will make this proverb, all right, to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand and the effect of every vision. The effect of every vision, man. So we're starting to see these visions that our forefathers seen, okay, that we teach about, that we expound upon. Okay, now we're starting to see these things, all right, take root in the earth, man. Okay. Ezekiel 12:25 said, For I am the Lord. It said, For I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. If I say it, it will happen. There will be no more delays. You rebels of Israel, I will fulfill my threat of destruction. Okay. 2/3, you're gonna get caught up in it. Okay, in your own life, in your own lifetime. Okay, in your own lifetime. Okay, it's gonna be in this lifetime. I, the sovereign Lord. So that's the point. I leave it there. You know. So Lord will. All right, we'll tap in later on if need be. You know, I'll just be watching. You know, like we in the war room now, man. You know, we're in the war room. So things are happening, you know, and everything's working towards our favor. Esau, Edom is done. There's nothing you can do to reverse it. You know, so it's a beautiful time. So Lord will, you know, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified. Once again, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the whole for the Shalom.